Right, second loaf, the alarm's just gone off, so like I say 45 minutes, the last 5 minutes has been without the lid on, so exactly the same process as what we did with the first one. So let's have a look, see what this looks like. Right, here we go. Hey, what a beauty. There we go. I'll give you the first look. Now that looks absolutely magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. I'm over the moon with that one as well. Let's take that one out and see what we've got. If I can manage. I tell you what, let's take these gloves off and make it so much easier. Sometimes a bit of common sense has to prevail, doesn't it? And there we go. Yeah, it's definitely 100%. I can say just looking, it's got more height than the other one. It's got more oven spring than the other one. That looks particularly good. Now let me just show you that one again. So that's our first one, perfectly respectable, and for a brand new starter to give you results like that is just amazing. But then kind of looking at the one which is now they do shrink a little bit as they cool down, because don't forget this is just out the oven, so this is the cook temperature, and it's worth pointing this out. If you're ever unsure, is it cooked, is it not cooked, you know, I'll give you a time frame for that. But if you ever put a probe in, you're looking about 98 degrees plus is fully cooked. So that in itself takes the guesswork out of it. But yeah, 100%. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to move this pan and I'm going to put them both together, and then I'll bring the camera down and we'll have a little squiz to see a side-by-side comparison of the two loaves. And like I say, first one, I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon with that, and it was much better than I expected, and certainly much better than kind of well, my first one was a disaster, to be absolutely frank with you. To be fair, I treated it like I was making a loaf of normal bread, but using sourdough ferment, and then I kicked off the process of trying to work out what was what. So I'm going to just drop you down there and let you see if you can see. So the one on the right is the one with the aged ferment. The one on the left is the one with the new ferment. Both decent loaves, but as you can see, this is the oven spring I was talking about, and this is the ear, and that is kind of showing you that that's sprang more, and that is kind of a bit, you know, it's still got the shoulders, it still rose up, and it's probably flattened a little bit. So the best thing to actually do is come back when they're both cold and look at them. And what I might do is take a picture together when they're both cool down, and it'll give you a real kind of you know, an exact idea of what they're going to be like, what they're like when they're cold. So we can't cut into either of them for at least 3 hours, otherwise, you know, you'll all that good work will be kind of forfeited for a little bit of impatience, and we've come so far, so don't be impatient right at the last. But what I've demonstrated is you can make a sourdough loaf in 2 weeks from scratch. And you don't get me wrong, I know some people's ferments are going to take a little bit longer, and they're ready when they're ready. We've gone through that in the process. But it also demonstrates the advantage of making your sourdough stronger by keeping it going. So what I would suggest, every time you use it and refeed it, it gets stronger. When you decide to put it on hold, which is to say, right, I'm going to put it in the fridge and only use it when I need it. So really you should be refreshing it maybe once a week if you're not using it all the time. And we'll come on to that and answer some of those questions. But the more you use your sourdough starter, the stronger it's going to get. So once it's up to strength to use for the first time, it's only going to get better and better. I mean, I could tell the way I was handling the dough. I could tell a definite difference between the two. So I'm over the moon with that, to be fair, with the experiment and with the, so it's actually proved what I intended it to prove, but it's also proved that we can get away with actually making a half decent loaf with a brand new starter. And obviously the proof of the pudding's in the eating. I know what you're saying. I know before you even say, well, you haven't tried it yet, you haven't looked. Well, we'll look tomorrow. But I'm very encouraged by that. And like I say, compared with all of the stuff that I've been through and the learning to kind of come up with that on the first attempt, if you just apply these basic principles, then you've saved yourself an awful lot of pain, an awful lot of confusion. So unless I've totally confused you, and then you're kind of back to square one, really. I've been no help at all. So I hope I have. I really hope I have. And I know this is not for everybody, but it is for some of you out there. I know that. And it'll be there for future. And I hope that I've demonstrated that just taking the kind of some of the mystery away from it, and just looking on the basic principles of step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah blah blah, we can achieve something from a complete novice, somebody who is, you know, green as grass when it comes to this sort of stuff. And you know, I'm sure things will get better as my starter gets. It's proven it's just doing it itself. You know, I'm not getting any better at what I'm doing. I'm doing the same thing. You know, I've learned some things. You know, we won't. There's other things I can go into, but I'm just not going to confuse you. But it's showing that a lot of it's doing itself. So just waiting for it to prove till it gets to the right level. It's doing it itself. You have very little input. It's just input at the right times, and that's all it is. Really all it is. So we'll look forward to it cooling down. Trying tomorrow. I'll take some pictures and I'll post those as well. But yeah, I'm over the moon with the outcome, with the results. I can bin those starters now. I only need to keep me one. I mean, it's proved what I wanted it to prove. I've managed to create another one, the simplest out of the two I've done, and I'm more than happy with that. So I hope you are too. And yeah, so that's it. So it's a good night from me, and we shall see you on the next cook. So bye for now.